Hello, guerreras and guerreros. This is Alex.
And Laura.
And on today's episode, we are going to record our faces so you guys can see who is speaking. And of course, since we are virtual Laura's in Japan, we have our own virtual studio right now. So I hope you guys enjoy the way it looks. And we can't wait to get our episode started on Universal Studios. We're going to compare Universal Studios in Japan as opposed to Universal Studios in Florida. And we're going to tell you all about our experience, our crazy experience at the one in Florida together. And then Laura will give her side of Japan Universal Studios. So with that being said, let's get this
show on the road.
All right, chica, since we just started, we have to get updated. I hope you guys know that right now it's about 9:30ish here in Louisville, Texas, and where Laura is.
Yeah, and where I am, it's 11:30ish here in Japan, in Nagoya, Japan. So
11:30 a.m. right?
Virtual. Yeah, I should say that 11:30 a.m. So there's a 14-hour difference between Texas time and Japan time, and it took us a little while to figure out what times worked for both of us. But we're so excited to be coming to you from our countries that we're currently on.
I know, it's insane. I hope you all know that me and Laura hardly get to talk because of the time difference. So these times is the time where I get all the updates on how her life is going, how this crazy life-changing event is, transpiring. So tell us how it's going so far. I even told you save it for the episode because I really want to know.
Absolutely. I've been settling in. So we got here on August 23rd and it is now October. So I've been about here for a month and it's been very, very life-changing, as you guys know, but honestly, we feel very comfortable like being in Japan, like me and my family, like we've adopted really well. And I think it's because the people, like the Japanese people, try to be so kind and polite to us and help us as much as they can. So they know that we don't know the language, and you can see that they feel like kind of bad for us, but they're so helpful. Like I can name so many instances where like strangers knew that we were lost and they literally walked us all the way to where we had to go and helped us find the way. We've never seen anyone so far have like frustration with us, like because we don't know the language. Like they tend to be very understanding. So that's been so helpful in making us feel less like uncomfortable and more comfortable to the changes. And of course, the other thing that we've been like loving and enjoying, and I think you guys have seen, those of us that follow us at Driven Latinas on Instagram, know that we've been traveling a lot. So within Japan. So if you think of Japan, like the size is like California. And so like think about like us just going to different parts of California, like that's kind of the distance that Japan is to other things. So we've been going pretty much all around Nagoya where we live, and we've been exploring so many different places. So that's been so awesome and so nice. Like I look forward to the weekends a lot because I work during the week. But then on the weekends, my family and I are just going out everywhere and exploring like the different cultures, a lot of fun places for Lily. So we've really been enjoying it a lot. And like I said, everyone seems to be so polite. So we've been able to get around without knowing the language that much. Although we are studying Japanese, my husband and I both have classes with Japanese teachers. So we have been trying to learn more of the language. I know how to say I don't know Japanese.
How do you say it? Show it.
Nihongo wakarimasen.
Wow.
And so I normally say it and then I bow a little bit, like kind of like I'm sorry, bow, like, oh, I'm sorry, like sumimasen, like nihongo wakarimasen. And then I go like this, and then the people are like, oh, and then it's like charades, like they try to use their numbers, like the number system is the same.
Why don't you use Google Translate, like where they can
we have tried, but Google Translate doesn't catch, they speak really fast. So it doesn't catch everything. And even when we do it in English, it doesn't catch everything either. But it has been helpful. Like if it's short conversations, like Google Translate has been really helpful.
Oh, that's
Short,
awesome.
easy ones. Yeah. So it's been going good. My house is a giant mess. So right now, because we just got our sea shipment. So as you guys remember, if you follow us on Instagram, I posted a video that said we get our sea. I was packing up our sea shipment and they said we're gonna get it in 3 months. Well, it's been 3 months since the 1st of July. So I got my sea shipment on Tuesday. So my house is a huge mess because it's full of boxes and I haven't completely organized it yet. So that's my next thing to do. And that will be my final thing to do to finally feel like more at home.
Yes, that's so exciting. And you guys have to follow at Driven Latinas on Instagram because she does share her
Mhm.
entire, you know, her entire
Weekend plans.
journey in
Yeah.
Japan. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like she'll just be walking somewhere and then,
Uh-huh.
you just see the awesome cultural
Yeah.
dances. And I think it's
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
and amazing. And I think if you guys want to see it for yourselves, follow at Driven
Yeah.
Latinas. But
Absolutely.
no, I'm really happy for you all. I know the hardest part is, of course, our kids. They miss each other so
Yeah.
much. Even
I
my son,
know.
who's 5, and my daughter is really close to her daughter, so
Yeah.
they're
Our
always trying
daughters
to
are
see a
super
picture and
close.
to start bawling. I miss
Aw.
Lily.
I
So,
think I got lucky that Lily's too young to understand that we're far away, like so far away from you all,
yeah.
because she still thinks like, oh, like she will ask, like today our girls were FaceTiming each other, and then my little girl goes, I have an idea, and she goes, Cammy and Lily go to see animals together.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like she still doesn't get it, like that we're so far away. And in a way it's a blessing because then she doesn't understand like how far away we are from you guys. She thinks like, oh, they're just a call away. I don't know. Eventually she'll catch on though.
I
And then
know. I
she'll
had to
know.
tell her, I was like, we would have to
Yeah.
go on a plane, Lily, to go see you
Yeah.
that far.
I
But
tried to tell her after that call,
yeah,
I tried to explain distance to her, but she still
I
didn't
know
get it.
she's so
I
little.
yeah, she's still little, so the time will come, but that is definitely the hardest part about being far away is like not seeing our little girls growing up together and you and I not having like sister Sundays or like days that we
I
can just
know that
go
was
out.
the thing I missed the most. Like even if
Yeah.
we would just hang out like in Frisco and just had watch
Or
the kids run around.
barbacoa Sunday. Like
Yeah,
sometimes like we would get barbacoa and we would either take it to your place or you guys would come to our place
I know.
on Sundays and we would have barbacoa from El Rancho.
I know the El
Oh,
Rancho
so good. It was the
supermarket, but
best. Yeah.
we're just yeah, it's been hard because of the distance, but we know that it's for the like it's one of the once in a lifetime, you cannot pass up
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh
understand.
yeah, absolutely. Like it has its perks, but obviously its downfalls too. So I try not to think about it, and I think about next year when I get to go visit you guys for 2 weeks.
I
And
know.
I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy them so much, and at least gonna enjoy Cami so much, and I just keep thinking about that, and
I
then
know
it
because
makes
this
it
year's
like
about to
less
end,
sad.
girl. We only have a few more
I
months left, so
know. That's
it'll
good. So
be
we
here
can
before
just
we
keep.
know it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be
Do
here
you know
before
more
you
or
know
less
it.
what month you might?
Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe November, like going for like Thanksgiving timing.
Oh, I see.
Or because I think everybody goes in December, so I just feel like everything's going to be so packed. And I was thinking, I know this is like planning too, but maybe we can go somewhere in November. So maybe instead of meeting you in Texas, like maybe I can meet you in California or Florida
Oh,
or
that
like
would be fun.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
think about that. And then we'll keep everybody updated of what we decide. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we're thinking maybe November or December timing, either one of those two. So whatever
yes.
works best for you guys, we'll ask you.
Yeah, it'll be whatever day, that we're gonna be so excited, especially Camila, my daughter, she's insanely in love with Lily. She's like,
I
she'll
know.
see a picture and just start crying her eyes out. And
Aw,
I've sent my sister videos. I'm like, this
yeah,
is her crying.
I
But
know. It like
that's
literally
I think
makes
the
me
hardest
want to
part for her.
cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Poor Cammy. I know. I feel
And
so
she
bad.
understands and she even says, it's too far. I can't have them leave for 3 years, mom. I'm like, I'm sorry.
No, she was today this morning. She's like, "Why are you gone for 30 years. I was like,
Oh
whoa,
yeah, she switches
it's
it up
3
because she's
years.
very dramatic.
Yeah, exaggerating a little bit,
Yeah.
Cami. But
Oh
still, yeah.
God.
Lily miss honestly. What Lily asks someone is every day because Cammy's birthday just passed. Since Cammy's birthday passed, she asks Cammy's birthday party. Like she
Oh,
knows we haven't gone to sing happy birthday and blow candles for Cammy, so that's what like
maybe we need
she's
to do it on
confused.
FaceTime, even though
I
it
think
already
so.
passed.
No, honestly, I think so. Like we
Yeah,
need to do it on FaceTime so she gets it out of her system
yeah,
because
like oh, it already
Lily
happened.
understands parties, birthday parties, and she's like, we sang happy birthday to Cami on the phone, but we haven't gone to her party. So
Yeah.
almost every day she'll be like, Cami's birthday party, and I'll be like, no, Cami's birthday party already
And
passed.
then what did she say? She said, "Oh, we want cake, Cammy. When's your
Oh
party?"
yeah,
She's
here's your
asking Cammy
cake. Yeah, she's like, Cami,
today
where's
on
your cake?
FaceTime. When's your party? I want cake. And we're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. So maybe if we get her a cake, like
yeah,
Cammy a cake
like a little
here,
cupcake or
and
something that she
yeah, and then we blow out candles. We'll stream that on Instagram. We'll put
yeah,
it on Instagram. Yeah.
she
So
finally got her moment to sing to
exactly, like
Cammy.
here's your cake. Hopefully she'll stop asking. We'll
Oh,
see.
she's so cute. No,
We'll
but
see.
yeah, so we're happy for you all. We can't wait to see you also. I mean, of course, we're gonna try our best to plan a trip over
Mm,
there and to see
you
everybody.
should. That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna love, I think you would love Kyoto. That's been my favorite place so
Is
far.
it the nature or everything in
It's
general?
it's the cultural part. It's like the one that looks more like temples and traditional
Oh, I love
Japanese.
that.
Oh, you know what? When you come, just you and I by ourselves should go to the Starbucks. And I say just by ourselves because it gets so packed. Like if you go
Oh,
with a
wow.
couple, like a group of five, like you can't find seats. So if it's just you and me,
Yes. Oh,
besides
yes,
having
girl.
Sister
Any day.
Sunday,
Kid-free
then
excuse.
we get to sit, yeah, Starbucks, and it's like you can literally sit like in tatami mats,
Oh,
like
I'm
the mats
excited.
on the floor, like traditional Japanese style.
Like you'll take
So
off your shoes or like,
yeah, like you take
oh,
off your shoes and
what?
you sit on this mats and you have a Starbucks. I think it's the only one of its kind. Everything
That's
else is more like Americanized, but in Kyoto, everything's so traditional. So when Starbucks moves, even their sign, like you can miss it because it looks like traditional wooden, like Japanese.
wow.
So when we passed by it, we missed it and we're like, oh, it's right here in this building because it's like they really tried to make it Japanese. So that will be super fun. That's a must that you and I have to do.
Yes,
We
for
need to.
sure. No, I know. I already have like a to-do list and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have enough time to do all of that, but
Oh, you can come
trust
back. I'll be here for a
me.
while. You
I
can come
know.
back over and over again, and we'll
But
welcome you.
so anyway, let's
Yeah.
get dive into
Okay. Our
our
episode.
episode because we really want to make sure that they get all the tips and tricks or the differences between both Universal Studios.
Yeah,
I thought it was so
absolutely.
exciting that you actually got to experience the Japanese
Yes.
one. So
That's the most recent big trip that we took was Universal. And if you all again follow us on Instagram, you'll see a lot of like my highlights
yeah.
during that time there. But I think we should, as you guys also know, Ale and I, when we went to our Florida trip, when was it? Last year or 2 years
Yes.
ago?
Yeah.
Or
It was
whenever we went.
last
I think it
summer,
was
not
last
this.
summer.
Yeah,
When we
last.
went last summer, you all may remember that we went to Disney World and we also went to Universal. So we've gone to that. And then plus, very recently, I went to Universal here in Japan. So we thought for this episode, it'd be pretty cool to compare both the Universal Florida Universal Studios and then the Japan Universal Studios.
All right, so let's dive in. Let's start with the Universal Studios in Florida first, just because we have so much to say about that one.
Yes, we do.
We literally
And
almost lost a family member there, okay, y'all. This is
yeah.
how serious it was.
Okay, but to be fair to Universal, it had nothing to do with their rides or their service. So let's start there
Well,
so that
yeah.
nobody tells us anything.
I know. In case they ever want to sponsor us, then we don't want to burn a bridge. I'm just kidding.
I
No, but seriously, it was so bad.
know. You want to burn a bridge.
It
No,
was
yeah.
so bad. Like,
I can
yeah.
tell them because I was there from the beginning. Okay, first of all, let me just say really quick, this is not necessarily about the content, this one story that we're going to tell you all, but it is something that in the very beginning when we were doing our Disney episode, or I think that was our second episode that we published, we teased it and we said, oh, and then Universal, and we were like, oh, and then that thing that happened, oh, we cannot get into it right now, and then we just like cut it off right then and there. So we think since we're revisiting Universal that we could tell you guys the story that personally happened to us and then go, back into the content. But okay, so we were in a restaurant that will remain nameless, but
let's just tell them honestly. It was the Three Broomsticks, okay, people, and it was freaking cursed. And I will say it was.
Oh my
cursed.
God. Okay. So I wanted it to remain nameless, but she has said it. so we were in this restaurant that honestly, again, I'm not blaming Universal. We should have done our homework, but we got the tickets that day as a gift and we took them and we went to Universal without much prior planning. So we didn't know how it had changed because of COVID. So what ended up happening is that now with COVID, they were doing like a different type of like scanning things to get your food or something like that. Like I to this day I still don't know because we didn't do
know. It was
because we didn't do the research.
Chaotic.
It was horrible. So we were in line, I kid you not, for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
At first we thought the line, like at first it didn't look so long. We were like, oh, look at that. Like it's like, I don't know, there's probably like maybe 10 people in front of us. And we're like, oh, let's get in line. Okay, great. So we get in line. We're a big party. Everyone's starting to get hungry. And then when we go inside, it actually took so long to get inside the building. And then once we got inside, there was like a snake line, like more and more and more
It was
longer
a deceitful illusion on the outside. Like, oh, there's only like a few people in front of you. And then it's like, oh wait, no, get inside, and now you see the chaos. It's a huge line. There's so many people sitting on the floor. It was awful. And when we said if we leave, we've already wasted like an hour and a half waiting outside in the heat. Like we can't leave now. Let's just
so we were very conflicted, right? Because we had waited an hour and we were like, we should just like tough it out. We've already waited an hour. Like how horrible would it be if we just lost that hour because we didn't like keep waiting? So we all decided we should wait. But again, the line was just so slow. So we took even longer to finally make it all the way through. I'm not even exaggerating. Total time from like in line to like getting our food and eating, it was like 3 hours of our precious Universal time. And again, yes, also on us that we could have planned or whatever. But we're telling you the story of how it happened. So we're there. We finally make it to the front. Everybody's getting agitated and a little bit grumpy at this point because we're hungry and because we've been waiting for this line that was deceitful and had us waiting way too long. And then we finally get our table and everybody, and then I think we waited like 15 more minutes only to realize that no waiter's gonna come. We had to scan like this little barcode for us to look at the menu and order the food through the through the scanner. I just remembered something that I started laughing. So everybody's putting in their order on somebody's phone. I can't remember whose phone it is, but everybody's getting mad, right? Because like, hurry up and order and decide what you want to eat. It slowly. No one's saying anything. Just slowly, you can tell that people are getting upset. And then all of a sudden, I think it started with my husband. He like went back and everybody thought like we were done ordering, and then he ordered a Harry Potter beer, or what is it called?
Like the butter beers.
Butterbeer. He ordered the butterbeer, right? And then my brother Ben gets the phone and is like, oh, like he ordered something else. And then like I look to see Ben, and he had like done a little plus sign on a butterbeer too.
So he added one for himself after he was complaining that somebody took a little longer so then he put plus two, I'm gonna need another one too.
Yes. So then he's like, well, might as well, he said, and we both started laughing. Anyways, that's not the point of the story. So we wait, and so again, the food is taking, because we didn't know about having to order through the barcode for so long. We end up saying, okay, well, it's taking so long for us to get the food. So Ale, of course, because she's like ready to be adventurous. We're in Universal. We're not taking advantage of the rides. She says, guys, I'm tired of waiting. Like, or I don't know if she said that, but I can tell that's
I
what she was
probably
saying.
just said I'm gonna go fight the rights.
Yeah. So she goes, I'm gonna go on the rides and blah blah blah. Whatever. She leaves, but she takes two people with her. I can't remember who it was.
Ben,
But
Yesenia.
Ben and Yesenia. Okay, Ben and Yesenia go with her. My little sister and my brother go with her. And then they leave. And then the food, like it takes like 10 or 15 minutes and it finally gets here. And then everybody's eating and everybody's again we were starving at that point because we were barely hungry when we got in line. By the time we got our food we were starving, so then everybody's like chowing down their food, and then my husband's eating his food too, and then I'm on my side and I'm like, okay, I'm done because I ate way too fast and I drank too much before the food got there. So I was like, oh, I'm done. So I look at my husband and he has already finished his food. So then I ask him, would you like some of my food? And he goes, yeah, yeah, sure. So he takes my plate. I think it was ribs. And then he starts eating them. And then all of a sudden he starts coughing. And then I'm just like, oh, is he choking? Like I thought about it for a second, but I'm like, I'm not sure. And then he started coughing louder. And then he tried to drink butter beer. And then like he kept coughing. And then everyone around us is like trying not to stare because it's embarrassing. And then like he just like gets up from the chair and he looks at I don't know who, and he does this. Good thing we're virtual so people can
Oh
see me.
no.
I'm putting my hands around my neck, guys, and then he's doing this, which apparently is the universal sign for choking, which I didn't know at the time. So then he's going like this and he stops coughing at that point. And this is when things got like super serious and like super scary for me. And I'm sure for Zach, my sister's husband, was sitting there with us too. So then I literally start walking towards him and I'm like, he's choking. Like I don't know why I didn't react like loud. I just was like whispering, like, he's choking. And then like I walked, I don't know why. Like I think it was just like
let me give you another point of view from my husband. She said she patted him 3 times like very lightly on his back. That's literally what she reacted.
Probably like honestly, like I think I panicked and I just like froze. Like I froze. That's the best word to say. Like I just froze. I didn't know what to do. So then when I see him doing this and knowing that he's choking, I start going towards behind him so I can do the Heimlich, right? Because I've seen it on the TV, like how to do the Heimlich. And I'm like, oh, this is a Heimlich. And I was like envisioning how I was going to do it. And I was like, I'm going to put my hands like this, like one in a fist and the other one like this. And I'm going to put it like below his stomach. And then I was like, wait, what the hell, Laura? You don't know what you're doing. Like I told myself that in my head, like,
And
you're
it's funny because
probably,
like it was probably like in the split second,
yeah,
like
all
all
of
these
this was
thoughts
like
are coming into your head.
so fast. Yeah. And I was like, you don't know what the heck you're doing. So then I like step back and I look at Zach, like my eyes were so big. I remember looking at him and I was like, help him. Like, I don't know why. Like, I was whispering. Like, that's the thing that I don't understand. I looked at Zach and I was like, help him. Here comes Zach, super calm. Like, literally, like in my head, it felt slow. But honestly, I think, again, everything just froze in my head and everything was slow motion. And then Zach comes behind Bert, my husband, Humberto, and he literally does a Heimlich. And he's like, hitting him like in the right place, which by the way, I was gonna hit him close to the groin.
Oh my God, thank goodness you didn't do it.
Thank goodness I didn't.
Been even worse.
Because he told me later when I was telling him where I thought it was and where I was gonna do the Heimlich, he's like, are you serious? My last days on earth would have been just you hitting me in the groin and choking.
Oh my God.
He was like, that's horrible. I was like,
that would have been his last memory.
That would have been his last memory, like, the worst. And so then Zach comes up to him and then he does a Heimlich. And then, guys, like when he's doing the Heimlich and he's behind my husband, like trying to get him to breathe, that's literally when Ale comes from outside, from outside where she had been riding and all the rides. And then she goes, oh oh my God, he's joking.
Y'all, and then
To
it was the
like
most dramatic
everybody.
part was that it had like these Western, like floppy, old school freaking
Saloon,
doors. So like
saloon
a
door.
saloon door. So I fling them open, and that was the first thing I yelled. Oh my God, he's joking. Guys, he had foam coming out of his mouth, but I didn't know it was a freaking butterbeer that he had added on a
Yeah.
freaking like 2 seconds before we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
supposed to place the order. He decided to
She
add
thought he
something
was
else.
foaming from the mouth, like foaming from the bottom.
So I
I
thought
don't
he
know
was
why.
like foaming. I don't know. It was just awful, but I'm glad
It was
that
just a probably like a very traumatizing experience for her to walk in and like see like
his
her
eyes were like
husband doing the
red, red,
Heimlich
red.
and my husband, yeah, his eyes were so red. And then finally he breathed, like he could
Well,
breathe again.
the scariest part, and I will say this, is that not one person made eye contact with me when I yelled in the middle of the entire restaurant. Not one person.
Yeah,
Everybody was trying to like not to look.
I know.
And I think
Excuse
after
me.
the fact, I think once it came out, someone said, "Are you okay, man?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Are you kidding me?" Like one person, like after the fact,
So
but
this is what
not
I
even the
learned a lot
waiter. No one asked.
from yeah, you're right. And if they want to say that we're lying, go back and check your camera. You'll see a
Yeah,
choking guy on the day that we went. Like we are not lying. Like it
yeah,
literally happened. You can look it up your camera. Your waiters did not come and check on us.
yeah.
And then anyways, so then um when that happened and then he started breathing again and then everyone was like from our table was like what happened like oh and then I explained to them like the whole story I just said.
Mm.
But I literally thanked Zach that day and I was like, thank you for literally, I'm not exaggerating, saving his life.
Yeah,
Like seriously, that is so huge. Turns out that this is not the first time Zach saved someone from doing the Heimlich.
I
So
know. This is
apparently
the
Zach
second time,
saved
but
someone.
he just, thank goodness he's around whenever someone is choking because I feel like I do panic, but I do yell. Like so at
Yeah,
least I
that's
do go.
good. I feel like
Yeah.
I learned that day is that I freeze, and that's the worst thing to do is like not even ask for help or anything. Like, so I've been getting like after that, Lily choked on a watermelon
Oh
and
no.
I didn't freeze. I literally reacted right away and I yelled for help and I like patted her back until it came out. So I feel like that experience helped me see
Yeah.
like, hey, you suck in this
Mhm,
and then you need to fix it. And then also what it helped me see from others that
mhm.
you all listeners can learn from is when someone does like the choking sign or you see someone choking, like try even if it's like calling the ambulance or if it's like you like telling people he's choking, someone who knows how to do the Heimlich can go and help him. Like react, like don't think you're embarrassing the person. Like it's okay that
Yep.
you know you ask for help. And I think that's what everyone can learn
I
from our
agree.
story.
I agree. And I also looked into it too, and it says if you're by yourself, like that, it seriously
Mm,
is that traumatizing to the point where
yeah,
I was looking it up, like, how do you even do it? Like, what if I have
yeah,
to do
yeah,
it on like
yeah.
one of my students or something? So it says if you're by yourself, get a corner of a table and you kind of have to like throw yourself
Towards the
on,
table.
yeah, towards the
Yeah.
table in your stomach. You can look it up and see what it looks like,
Yeah,
but
and it's
just
at the
crazy. You
top
just
of
never
the
know.
stomach too, so
Yeah.
that everyone knows. Like, just Google, like, or not Google. You can YouTube it or whatever you want to, form you want to use it. But there's professionals like that obviously can explain it, and there's also like 911 and ambulances that can show you. I learned afterwards because guess what? My husband is certified with that thing. Like, he teaches people how to do it,
That's
but I
awesome.
had just never asked him to teach me. So after that, I asked him. So now I know how to do it too.
Yeah.
But it's horrible that it took that experience for
Experience.
us
It was very
to get,
scary. So,
yeah,
in a
it was
nutshell,
so scary.
everyone,
Yeah.
Universal in Florida was not very kind to us, but we also can take a lot of not the blame for that, but the fact that we didn't plan it very well.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
like my sister said, it was last minute, so we got the tickets as a gift, and then we kind of just winged it. And thankfully, we had no kids with us that day, so we were kind of
Yeah.
like feeling a little less stressed that it was not really well planned. But we hardly got any time to ride the rides, but the rides that we did ride, I think it was the Hulk, that one was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
um and the rides and everything was great. And again, we also went in a really busy time,
Yeah,
because it was in the summer when everyone goes. So
yeah.
yeah, try to
And it
go
was
in a,
really hot.
yes, and it was so
And it
hot.
was super hot. And then they also have Harry Potter World in Florida. And so it's very awesome and it has very fun rides. Like there was one that was like a roller coaster, like you're literally flying on a broomstick
Oh
and
yeah,
it feels
that was
so
so
real.
fun because
It
they do
feels
all the
so real.
effects. I mean, they do like
Yeah.
spraying of your face, like when it's raining, or yeah, I really like that. That was a awesome experience, and
Yeah.
it has all the
It was really
benefits.
good. The Harry Potter world, if you're into like architecture and just like wanting to feel like you're in the movie, like that's the place to be. It's a good size, it's not too small. So that was one of the funnest things for me because I'm like a freaking bookworm. So I've
Yes,
read all the Harry Potter books. And I think that's why that was one of my favorite things to do in Universal when we went. And I'm trying to think of what
I
else
know.
to
I
do.
just watched the movies growing up, and
Mm.
I would make my sister take tests for me. With
Oh
she would
yeah.
read the thick Harry Potter books. Yeah, when we used to do accelerated reading, it's like a program where you have to take exams on books and
Oh
get
yeah.
points, and then you could get like certificates or rewards or whatever prizes. I would make my sister take the test for me under my name. I was so bad, but she she would do it.
I know.
She was so nice. She
Yeah,
was
I
like,
was a
okay, because they
pushover.
were
I was
had
a
like 15
pushover back then.
points.
Because they were girl, no, they were 30 points. But of course, how would you know if you never actually took
Oh
it?
my gosh.
They were
But
30
anyway,
points.
yeah.
Okay, anywho.
But anyway, it was
Comparing
really
that.
fun, and she yeah, that was what I was looking forward to, like those rides, and again, they did not disappoint. They were super awesome, but yeah, try going on a
Oh, Jurassic Park 2. We went on Jurassic Park and that was really fun also.
yes, the oh,
Okay.
that's the one where they would spray you with water, and like you would ride this like if you were in an actual Jurassic Park movie, that where
Yeah.
you would ride the ride and then it would take you through all the scenes. But
Yes.
I had never experienced anything like it, so yes, I highly recommend it, especially with I think even if you have kids that are
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
to
I
ride
think
those
for that
rides,
one, we took the
yeah,
kids for that
you can.
because I remember Lily, like, even her liking it. And it's very safe. Like, don't worry. It's not like a crazy ride that's like moving too much. It's just perfect.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I
So
was
I
gonna
wanted to,
ask you about do they have Harry Potter over there in
yes. So that's what I was going to say.
oh,
So
okay.
Japan side Universal.
Mhm.
So they do have Harry Potter World. They also have Jurassic Park. They also have which is different, Nintendo World.
I saw
It
that. I
is
thought it looked
so
so freaking
cool.
awesome, like
It
nostalgia
looks
101 right
so
there.
cool. And they also have Minion World in
That's
Universal.
crazy.
And of course, Hello Kitty's everywhere. They
Oh,
don't have
Cammy
a
loves Hello
Hello
Kitty.
Kitty land, but there's a separate, I learned later that there's like a separate a whole like Hello Kitty line, not Universal, but like another company has its own like park for Hello Kitty, which we want to plan on going eventually.
Yeah.
But those are the parks that are in Universal Japan, USJ. That's how a lot of people just call it here in Japan,
USJ.
USJ, Universal Studios Japan.
Oh,
And I would say that the most popular, believe it or not, park that I think was there was actually um Harry Potter, like, which is weird to me. Like, I didn't think that Harry Potter would be that popular.
mhm.
Nintendo World obviously is like super popular too, but with them, they're a little bit more structured. They have like specific time zones that you have to go very early in the morning in person and reserve your spot the time.
Oh
So
wow.
like
Okay.
there is huge lines. I think that's one another huge comparison between Universal USJ, like Universal Studios Japan and Florida, is that I feel like Florida is more digitized, like you can do everything like online. And then as opposed to Japan, it seems like more manual, which I thought
Really?
was so weird.
I
Like
thought it would
everything
be
in
the
person.
opposite. Like they would have
I would think so too. I was shocked by that when I don't know if it like COVID had something to do with it or like I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I would love if someone from Japan to explain it to me, like if it's always been this way or if it just started being this way. But the line to reserve a section for Universal Studios Japan was like incredibly long, like the longest line ever.
Oh my
And my
gosh.
husband ended up waiting, I think, for like an hour to reserve, just to reserve a spot of when we were going to go to Nintendo World. So it took us a long time to finally get there. And then the I see so many like the teenagers, like they're obsessed with Harry Potter. Like that's what who I saw like in robes. And that one you just keep going, another huge line. Keep going, keep going, keep going until like it's at capacity, then they close it down. They close down the park
Oh
because
my
there's already so
gosh.
many people in there.
But like
So
if
that's
you've been waiting forever, you might get cut off.
yeah, you may get cut
Oh
off
my
if you've been
gosh.
waiting in the line. But the thing is, that's another difference. I feel like in Japan, it is so much more because they're more manual versus digital. It's so much more important to go there early. So
Mm.
we got there at 8:30 in the morning. The park opened at 8, I think. Yeah, but basically we were there 30 minutes after the park opened, and like literally people were running past us, like not
My
jog, not
God.
walking fast, not
Yeah.
walking fast, like not jogging, like running past us. And it was because again, I didn't know, but they
The
were waiting in
capacity.
line for Nintendo or trying to get in the line for Harry Potter World. And to me, that was shocking. I was like, why are people running? We're here like really early. Like that, like I
There's
thought,
really,
it's like when you go to Disney worlds, like you get in line really early and you're one of the first
yeah.
people there. It's like here, no, you're like everybody else is getting in at the same time. So
Oh my
you just
God.
have to like, I think come like 2 hours early to actually be there early.
That's
That was
crazy.
so crazy and wild to me, like how different that was, more manual, like less digital. Um, the like even waiting in line for Nintendo World, I just kept thinking like, why can't you do this online? Or
Yeah.
can you do this online? And like Humberto and I just don't know. But we searched like in the app and it's in English and there's no place to do like
To
to
do
book it
that.
online.
I do know, like,
So
even freaking Six Flags here in Texas, they do times like at this, you can virtually wait in line through the app.
virtual.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
but
I
that's
think that's
crazy that
that's
they don't
awesome. Like if they can do it virtually versus
are
not.
standing
But
there.
like here it wasn't virtual. So
Mm.
it's like really crazy.
Mm.
Hey, sweetie.
No,
Oh, Lily's here.
it's
Sorry.
okay. It's
But
okay.
I don't know if there's those were my biggest
Hi,
takeaways. Say
Lily.
hi, Lily.
Hi.
Okay,
I
come with
love
daddy.
you. Mhm.
But yeah, that is like wild. Like how long the lines were for everything. I'm like, come on. I don't know why. Like I think it honestly maybe it's because they'd want people like first come first serve. So like if you care enough, like be here early. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Because I
Well,
don't know.
that's what that was one of my questions, and I know this is a little bit of a sidebar, but how was your adjusting with the time difference for you and
Oh
Lily?
yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
didn't talk
that
about that at all.
Lily took a whole week to adjust. I
Oh,
think it
wow.
took me I think it took me like maybe 4 days to adjust because I had to go to work the next day as soon as I came back. But Lily, like it took her like a whole week. Like she was waking up at like 3 in the morning and wouldn't go back to sleep. Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
For like a whole week. And then after like the 3 a.m., like first it was like 2 a.m. Then
Yeah.
the next day it was like she would wake up at 3 and then 4. And then eventually she got to like the right time.
Oh,
But it took like a whole week for her to
yeah.
get
I
into
was going to ask because I'm like, what the heck? Like for a kid, I would assume that would be, especially because they're so structured with their nap time. I'm like, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's going to be hard to adjust, but I'm glad that she was able to get that down because like
Yeah, she got
that
it
would
down.
that's gonna wake you up and you have to go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But she's now back to her regular schedule.
Oh,
Like she naps at the same time that she used to nap in the States. She sleeps at the same time that she used to sleep in the States. It's so funny because now I say the States, like
good.
I'll show off. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I know what jet lag means. So everyone always used to say the word
Yeah.
jet lag. And I would be like, what does that mean? Like you're tired, you're trying to
Yeah.
adjust to the new schedule. Okay. So for me, jet lag meant feeling nauseous, like at 7 p.m. and dizzy. Like I would literally get dizzy and headaches
What?
because I had been like go, 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 go with like lack of
Yeah.
sleep. And then I would come back to try to be like like just doing my day-to-day life, and then it would just take me a while
To
to
adjust.
readjust. Yeah. And then I would get sick like at 7 p.m. It was so weird. At the same time, it would be like headache, nausea, and dizziness. And I would have to sit and
Oh
just like
gosh.
sit down and like relax, try to relax. So
Yeah.
it's different for everybody. Like some people that I work with, they were saying like, oh, for me, it was just like very tired, like very tired. I just wanted to sleep a lot.
Oh,
But for me, I've heard a couple of people say nausea too, like that they
nausea.
would get
Oh my
nauseous.
gosh.
Nauseous?
Yeah, nauseous.
Nauseous.
Oh dear.
Something.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
that you guys adjusted well, but the videos of the Mario World, or what did you call
Oh
it?
yeah, Nintendo World.
Nintendo World was crazy. Like
Yeah,
I was shook with all the
yeah, yeah.
freaking like life
The
size
detail, like
machines and
yeah,
everything. I'm like, what the
the
heck?
attention to detail that they
Yes.
put. Oh, and
Nice.
honestly, like next time, again, learning point also from Universal. Like when I went on a weekend and it was so packed, I was like, Laura, rookie mistake. Like you should have learned from Universal, like
Yeah.
Florida, that you don't come when it's super busy and super packed. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to show everybody like the super fun part because it's interactive. You buy these little watches, which we did by Lily, and then they have like the big points, like in Mario, they have them life size, and like a little kid can literally go under and go ding, 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 ding,
Oh.
like so many times. And it's a game that they have them all over the place.
So
But
they can get the
because
points, like they hear
so
the
you
little
can get
sound.
the points,
Oh,
yeah, and
that's
you can
cute.
actually like join a competition and compete with others. Obviously, Lily's too small for that, but it's something that we didn't get to do when we went because it was so packed. It was so busy. So next time, that's on our to-do
Yeah,
list. Yeah,
for
to do
sure.
it when it's like Tuesday to Thursday, and then make sure that we're one of the first ones there so we can get one of the
Yeah.
first ones in line. So we have a lot of learnings this first time around. So the second time will be even better.
Well, you guys are so lucky that you get to experience a whole nother side of the world. Like, isn't that
Yeah.
like mind-boggling to think that
Yeah.
you're literally on the other side of the
Yeah,
world?
that is
Like
so crazy.
to this day. By the way, haven't told my sister this, but my mom was like so like happy tears when I told her that that Laura had gone already, or she had already landed.
Uh,
She's like, "Ah, I feel like decía realizada, like she feels like it
yeah.
happened, like oh, like
Yeah,
now
yeah.
she can like she was so I guess she still gets nervous, even though
Yeah,
she
yeah.
doesn't like to admit it, but
Yeah.
she was so happy for you, and she's
I'm
like,
so because she's been there for me from the beginning,
yeah,
like for her to finally not like
can
see
you
me interview.
repeat that real quick because your internet connection is unstable.
Oh
So,
no, I was just saying that I think since she saw me interviewing from the very beginning, and then she was like, "Oh, like you can do it, like you're gonna get it," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I am," and she saw me worry, like, "Wait, did I get it? Did I not?" Then I got it, and now I'm here. I feel like she knows,
so
she
she was
knows
there
it was,
from like the
yeah,
first day of your journey all the way till
yes.
she got to see it till the
So,
end. That's
that's
awesome.
so sweet of
Yeah.
her. I love
But
her
she
so
was so
much.
happy, and she never tries to show it that she's like emotional. She
Oh
always
yeah,
put the brave face, but she was
yeah.
like so happy that she was a happy tears. She's like, "Is these are happy
Uh,
tears. I'm glad she's over there, but I'm gonna miss her so much." And I'm like, "Well,
uh.
mom, it's nice to know who your favorite daughter is because she's over here like
Yeah.
crying her
I
eyes
can't wait to
out."
see you
But
guys.
I
Soon,
know.
like it'll be here before you know it. And then you
Yes.
guys get to experience also another part of the world. So you better come.
I know, I'm so excited, but is there anything else you want to add before we conclude our episode today?
Not yet. I can't wait to settle into my house. And that's pretty much what I'm really looking forward to now. And a lot of awesome content of places we'll visit.
Oh, yes, for
So,
sure. And I
so
cannot wait to
excited.
go also. So just we'll keep you up posted. And again, thank you for all the lovely, I honestly, the words of encouragement for my sister like have been so,
Yeah.
heartfelt because a lot of people
Yeah,
say like,
absolutely.
girl, that is so awesome. Like they're just cheering us on, and they
Yeah,
don't even know us. Like
exactly.
it's just
Both of
so nice.
us. Like, I think for
Yeah.
you too, like, anytime you have an accomplishment, like, people are cheering us on. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much to all our listeners. Like, we truly mean it when we say we really appreciate you and we really love you all so much. And thank you for walking on this journey alongside us.
I know. Well, all right. And remember, somos hermanas. And
And together
together
we
we
are
are driven
driven
Latinas.
Latinas.